Apparently, he basically almost verbatim.
I don't know what people were talking about that he repeated. And Steve, by the way, I want to say thank you for doing all the research and getting all of those clips for us.
Thank you.
We appreciate that.
So anyways, he apologized. It's never going to happen again, he said. I don't know that it was necessarily a big deal because they all remember sound bites like that. They all practice little blurbs like that to get their point out.
Yeah.
He just shouldn't have done it 3 times in 10 minutes.
Well, and it was funny because I think he caught himself the one time.
Yeah, he kind of like,
he was starting to say it. He was like,
and he's like,
I'll add this. Barack Obama doesn't, and Chris Christie said, here it is. This is a repeat. And he said,
oh, what do I do now?
I'll add this. No, wait.
Poor guy. All right,
well,
let's
at
see.
least he didn't stop in the middle of it and take a drink of water. You remember that?
Oh, God. And then I think he was drunk that night. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, I don't think it was that big.
He had kind of a lisp.
It wasn't that big of a deal. No, his mouth was dry.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And he was over 40 and not married.
He's married and under 40, I think. So
he's not under 40.
He's not that old.
No, he isn't that old.
I don't know that he's 40.
I think he's 40.
Steve should look that up.
Okay.
But anyways, so you want to talk about this real quick? It's a Michigan thing. But I want
He's 44 years old.
Okay, so he's close. So he's just over 40. I think he's lying. I think he's younger than that. All right, Michigan pistol registration. Michigan's one of the few states that has this how do you say it?
Onerous?
Onerous. You got to put the R in there. Onerous burden on people here is we have to register our handguns. You got to get permission from local units of government to even get a permit to buy a handgun, which is ridiculous. There's like 7 or 8 states in the whole country that require that. Well, one of the things that people have found by looking into the law is an exception to that. And the thing is, you have to register your handgun. You still got to get a purchase permit to buy a handgun in Michigan, but you don't have to turn it into the state police. And it lists a series of things. If you're a police or correction officer, you're Army Air Force, blah, 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 there's several options. And one is if you have a concealed pistol license from another state, right? So what you can do, no, that's in there. You're looking at me like it's
not in there.
It's not in this one. I see that now, but that's the that's the law. That if you have doesn't apply to a person. I cut it out. Damn it! It's number 2.
It's what you want to talk about. Why would you cut it out?
I don't know. The thing is, here it is, folks. If you're in Michigan and you have an out-of-state concealed pistol license, like from Arizona or Florida, the state exempts you from having to register. So a lot of people now in our state are getting Arizonas because that's the cheapest and the quickest and the easiest to get. And once you get that, you don't have to register your handgun to the Michigan State Police. There's no case law. There's no charges. We don't know if anybody will be prosecuted for it. It's only a civil infraction if you don't do it. But a lot of people, but you got to keep it current. You got to keep getting that out-of-state CPL. As long as you have that, you don't have to register any handguns that you buy under the authority of that thing. You still got to get the permit. Just about anybody can get the permit if they meet the criteria, purchase permit. But you can get out of registering your handguns that way. You want to talk about Michigan preemption bill? Let's do that.
Was that it? Yep.
Yeah, that's it. I just want to mention that people can investigate that. If you go to Michigan Open Carry, they have an actual
miopencarry.org.
They have an article that addresses all of the aspects of how to get out of registration. All right, Michigan preemption bill. Michigan had a preemption bill since 1991, I think. And
that's when it went into effect. 1990.
90? Okay.
Yeah.
90 or 91. Don't ever correct me for 1 year. So anyways, which says that local municipalities, again, cannot regulate firearms other than discharge.
Local unit of government.
Yeah. And we've had some court cases to define what those are, and we are having another one that's going to go to the Court of Appeals, which is whether a school is a local unit of government. That's a different issue. We've talked about it in the past.
Yep.
This one, though, is Several gun groups in the NRA testified at a Senate committee yesterday. Basically, Lambert wrote the bill, basically, the president of Michigan Open Carry, and it's putting teeth in preemption. In other words, it's saying that if a local municipality has some kind of firearm law that's contrary to state law, and they should enforce it or don't take it off their books, you have recourse. And it fines them up to $5,000, blah, 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 even police officers. And people testified about the abuses that go on. And we've had cases where people have been arrested under local ordinances unlawfully.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And they had to pay for attorneys and all that, and they were sued, and they lost, and they had to pay. And we also had the Lansing Capital Area District Library spent $125,000 on fighting this case, saying that they could ban firearms when, in fact, the Court of Appeals said, no, you're a local unit of government. You can't do it.
Tax money.
That's tax money.
That they spent.
And then there was, what was the other one? Ferndale Library spent $50,000 or $60,000 saying that they could ban concealed carry people from their libraries when the shell issue law went into effect. And these are taxpayer dollars, right?
Yeah, they are.
It's not the local municipalities that are suffering. It's not the mayor or the supervisor of the township. It's the taxpayers.
Yep.
And so this bill would say, listen, you can't do that. We have recourse. If you enforce it, people can go and sue you. We can get court costs, all that kind of stuff, and up into a $5,000 fine. So that went on, and it was pretty cool. The gun groups did a good job. The people that were opposed to it, all they did was ramble on about gun violence. So we had
not about the bill at all.
Not about the bill.
Yeah, of course, because they probably hadn't read it.
They haven't read
it.
They
understand
didn't know what
don't
it meant.
know what preemption is.
Absolutely. We had Mothers Demand Action. We had Mothers Against Gun Violence. We had Doctors Against Gun Violence. The doctor said that you're 50% safer in a school than outside a school from gun violence. So I say, let's just keep the kids in school 24/7.
Yeah, they would be safer.
Really safe. None of them would ever be shot.
Yeah.
But most of the school shootings take place in schools.
All of the school shootings.
I think all of the schools
take place in schools. Yeah.
Isn't that funny how that works?
There has never been a school shooting outside of a school.
No, that's not true.
Sure, it is.
No, that's not true.
Absolutely.
No, that's not true.
Yeah.
No, that's not true.
Yeah.
There's been some outside in the parking lots and stuff.
No, that's at school though.
Well, it's the school. It's not inside the school. He's talking of physically inside the school.
Oh, because of the walls?
Yeah, I think that protects him. It doesn't. He didn't mention all the school shootings that take place in these so-called gun-free zones. So he brought up Ann Arbor that, is trying to ban guns from their school, which they can't do because they're preempted.
Who is this? I hope he's not my doctor.
No. He's you have to. I don't know his name.
Is he like a real doctor or a PhD?
No, I think he's a medical doctor. There were two of them there.
Okay.
He looked to be 100 years old and tall, skinny. Probably was really strikingly handsome in his youth, but I find him rather attractive in a smoking jacket and just sipping a scotch and sucking on a pipe.
Okay, so whatever.
I'm over 40 and married, so
yeah. Well, I think even the representatives, right, didn't. The ones that were there,
some of them didn't, and
like,
it was funny. All the Democrats didn't quite understand it.
Yeah, that's weird how that works. Right?
I will give credits to the representative from Flint, who's a Democrat, that necessarily didn't agree with pro-gun issues, but said that if you break the law, you should be held accountable for it.
Yeah, the law's the law.
So
if you want to change the law, okay, change
the
law.
And that was brought up. One of the anti-gun moms said, we should just get rid of preemption, and these people should be able to enforce these laws and create these laws. Nothing to do with the bill. If you want to change preemption, that's one issue.
Yeah, right.
And you can do that by petitioning your government, but that's not the case now. Wasn't what the bill was about. We're almost running out of time.
We are almost,
but
not quite. So do you think it'll pass? I mean, you think it has a chance?
Well, I think
it must have a chance because Michigan Coalition of Responsible Gun Owners is supporting it, and they don't support bills that don't have a chance. Except they do, but they don't.
Okay. This is just committee, right? It's just got to get a committee.
I
don't know.
I know.
But I think it'll move forward.
Yeah.
I think it's a no-brainer kind of law.
All right.
And I think politically,
really?
I think politically, there's not a lot of damage done if you support it.
Yeah, but it's a pro-gun.
And maybe
bill,
even the governor. No, it's not about. It's not about.
I know
guns.
it's not about it, but it's viewed as a pro-gun bill.
It's not about guns.
All right. We're out of time, though.
All right.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.